This is going to be probably close to the last YouTube video for the day. Keep in mind, I might do another video maybe 5 or 6 hours later. This one's going to be on my clothing channel. Some people watch it, some people don't watch it. Alright, this one's going to be what I told you. I promised you guys it was going to be Macys versus JCPenney's. Two of the world's biggest premier clothing stores. So I had to do some research on this one. This one took a whole lot of research to do because I want to make sure this video is, if not 100% accurate, close to it. I still might get some stuff right in this video. I might get some stuff wrong in this video. It all depends. Alright, now this one is gonna be Macys versus JCPenney's, okay? Now, JCPenney's was founded in 1858, and the man is a man whose name is Ronlon Hustlin Macys. So basically, he took the last part of his name and basically called it Macys. Now, he did have 5 other names that he wanted to call the store in the 1800s, and it was founded in where other place where you have fashion clothes come from, and that's New York City. And he basically did it in 1858 of October. So if you take out a calculator and you put from October, which you're not going to have the word October, but if you put 1858 and you put 2020, do you know how many years that is? That is actually 161 years from today. So he's been in business for 161 years. And he founded this in 1858. That's back in the 1800s. That's like maybe 2 or maybe 50 or 60 years before the 1929 stock market crash. So that's like way, way, way before we had the stock market crash. That's like, my dad wasn't even born yet. My dad's mom wasn't even born yet back then. So this store has a lot of history, basically, if you think about it. And he founded it in New York City. Now, today, the revenue money that they've made is, I think, either 2,400 billion or 24,000 billion dollars. That's a lot of money. The guy is a multi-billionaire. If he was here today, he would probably be the most richest man in the world. You know, his kids and grandkids and his kids, grandkids, kids are rich and famous and have all that money. And basically his name says it all, Macys. The guy is amazing. That's what you get from when you hear the name Macys. Now, in the years that have come, he's done all types of stuff. He's done clothes, he's done fitness clothes, he's done business attire. But him, it all started with business clothes. You know, he got into business sale marketing, then he got into fashion retail sale, and he started with the business clothes for men, business clothes for women, for job interviews, and then he spread it out, and then he started doing clothes and sports. And then you look at the clothes that we have today at Macys. Every clothing brand goes through Macys. You got Tommy Hilfiger's in there, you got Kevin Klein, you got you some Gucci, because everybody loves talking about Gucci and Versace. You know, you got that in there. You got El Monte. You know, you got Donatella Versace. You got all these fashion designer clothing lines in Macys. And as a kid, there were only 2 stores that my mom would shop at. My mom would buy her clothes from Macy, and my mom would buy my clothes at JCPenney's. So when I was in junior high and high school, my dad would always give my mom some money to go to JCPenney's, and basically, I always was fascinated, you know, by the 2 stores. And for years and for years and years, I always thought Macy's was owned by a woman. It almost happened because there was a period where they almost went bankrupt. Like if you look in their history, they almost went bankrupt, not once but twice, because there was this one period where nobody was buying clothes from Macy's. And Macy's is a franchise, like McDonald's, like Burger King, like Taco Bell. They're on the same competitive level. They're right there with McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Carl's Jr. They're on that competitive level. And they're good around the holiday season. Macy's is good for employment. Like if you just graduated from high school and college, I guarantee you almost every single person that went to high school and college, at least 65% of them, have had a job at either J.C. Penney's or Macys. The vast majority of women, they're at Macys. The vast majority of guys, they're at Macys. Men and women, every time I turn around, it's somebody that got a job at Macys. Every single summer, every single spring, they always do a hiring event. They give out good discounts. They're good at sales. Every section has its own section. Okay, you want sports? It got its own section. You know, you want clothes for basketball, football, baseball wear? It's got its own section. You looking for business attire, casual wear? It's got its own section. And their belts are incredible. They fit. They're good. Their shoes, they got boots. You name it, they got it at Macy's. Macy's is like a McDonald's. It's like, what if McDonald's didn't do food, but it did clothes? That's how Macy's is. Macy's is like the McDonald's of clothes. They kick ass, they take names, and they win all day, every day. And you got to give the black women, the white women, and the Latino women that work at Macy's in the past 20 to 25 years, you got to give them a lot of respect. You got to give them a lot of credit because when it comes to clothes, shoes, boots, and fashion, women are the masters of this shit. I'm going to say it again. When you go to stores like a J.C. Penney's, a Macy's, and it comes to clothes, when it comes to shoes, boots, and fashion, women are the masters of this shit. Because if you want to know where to find something in your size, you'll be shocked and surprised that a woman can say, you're 6 feet tall, A, B, C, and D, go to that section. You'd be like, damn, girl, who put you up on game? Who told you about men's clothes? And the woman be looking at you like, boy, I date men, so I know men's clothes. I have a son. I have a grandson. Now go get your ass over there and pick the clothes out. And I get schooled. Like most men be like, I'm a tough guy. I never get schooled. No, I've been schooled on 5 different occasions. Okay, and my mom would sit back and start laughing because I would say the blue shirt, and the girl would be like, oh, that's too light. You'll get that messed up and get some ketchup and mustard on it. Go get the black shirt. And then I'll put it on, and all the girls be like, now that fits better on you. The blue shirt don't fit on you. I'll go get some basketball shoes, and they go, oh, no, them shoes be tore up in 5 months. Go get the other shoes. And I'd be like, who put y'all up on game? And this be at Macy's, women be doing this. Like, you got to give credit where credit is due. You got to give respect when respect is due. Because a lot of guys be acting like I'm a tough guy, and then they try to take a woman out to lunch and dinner, right? And the woman be like, them clothes, there's just something about them clothes that don't look right or fit right. And when you go to Macy's, the women be telling you to your face, you know why them clothes don't fit you right? And you be like, why? Because of A, B, C, and D. Let me help you out. Let me show you the mirror and show you what you did wrong. And then these guys go to lunch and dinner, and they get better critical reception from women because they went to Macy's and a woman showed them what type of clothes they got wrong. See, a lot of men don't want to open their mouth and tell you if you go to Macy's, you're going to get some woman that's going to pull you up on game. Now, of course, you're going to get schooled because you be thinking, only a man can tell me about my clothes. Now, if it ain't sports, like if it's sportswear, yeah, you're going to get a guy that's going to tell you, nah, man, you need to wear this shirt. But if you're trying to, like, look casual wear or fashion wear, the women are like the masters of this shit. And the women are good because they will help you whatever it is. Leather jacket. I remember one time I was trying to find this one leather jacket, and this woman gave me this look like, you don't want to buy that leather jacket. You need one of these leather jackets. Like, you drive motorcycles? I'd be like, I used to. Well, that leather jacket right there is for guys that drive motorcycles. That leather jacket right there is if it rains. This leather jacket if it's spring. That leather jacket if it's fall. That's a fur leather jacket. And she'd be looking at me like, learn how to research the different leather jackets. And I'd be like, damn, who put you up on game? Like, any leather jacket I point out to her, she break the shit down in 5 minutes or less. And I'm like, damn. And people be laughing at them like, you didn't know girls was that good with clothes? And I'd be like, I knew they were good with clothes. I had no idea they were that good with clothes. And it wasn't until I got a job at the Grove at a place called Top Shop Top Man. That's if you know that's where all the rich, famous celebrities go to. Jennifer Lopez, Selma Hayek, Billy Bob Thornton. Yes, I've seen him 3 times. I've spoken to Bad Santa twice. Most people just watch the movie Bad Santa. I got to talk to Bad Santa. If there was a fourth time, I would have just told Billy Bob Thornton, I think y'all need to make a Bad Santa Part 3 or something. I mean, you and Mel Gibson can hook up and kick ass or something. That's just my opinion. Don't beat me down. I'm just trying to explain to you my experiences with clothes. And it wasn't until I got into that store that I got huge a huge kick in the ass and found out how much of a disadvantage I was when it came to clothes and fashion. Like, at least all the women that worked there looked at me like, your clothes is like 11 or 12 years outdated. And I was like, how you know? And you don't even know me. And the women look at me like, I know clothes. And I was like, okay. And the woman was like, I know my clothes. And when I got there, all the men, when they went to Top Shop Top Man, they was confused. They was like, I don't know where this is at. I don't know where that's at. And I would put something out of place, and the girl would put what I put out of place where it's supposed to go in 30 seconds or less. Like, it take me 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes to find what I was looking for. They put it back in 30 seconds or 2 minutes. And I'd be like, man. So that's when I began to find out how much of a disadvantage I was when it came to clothes and fashion. So if it weren't for me going to Top Shop Top Man, I would not understand how clothes and fashion works. So that's when you start to find out why I keep saying women are the masters of this shit. Like, you got to give women some respect. You got to give black women, white women, sexy Latino women their respect, because they the ones that will tell you if you look good or if you look like shit. Like, I've had some women tell me in the past that I look good, and then they have some women look at me like, yeah, you look like shit because the shit that you got on make you look like shit. And when you get somebody telling you that, that can be motivating, because you honestly, when you walk outside this house 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you don't know how people are going to perceive you, good or bad. You can wear a Levi t-shirt and everything else can look terrible, and because you wear a Levi shirt, people might give you a chance. Whereas if you just put any t-shirt on, you're going to look like a sack of shit. And I've had both. I've had women tell me I look good, and unfortunately I had some women tell me, oh, no, you need a lot of work, sweetheart. You need a lot of work in every area. So I've experienced both. On the other hand, we have J.C. Penney's. J.C. Penney's is more like, a lot of guys call it a man store, but I always got this feeling in the back of my head like, it's a man store, but J.C. Penney's is like another version of Macys. They're good with their shoes and their boots. I will give J.C. Penney's that hands down. The shoes, the boots, they're the shit, okay? I don't think nobody can fuck with J.C. Penney's shoes and boots. Their belts, I don't think nobody can touch J.C. Penney's belts. Now, their business attire, can't nobody fuck with their business attire. Every time somebody go on a job interview, they either go to Macys or they go to J.C. Penney's. In fact, I'm willing to say that when you go to job interviews, them probably the two stores you probably gonna go to get your game up when it comes to your business clothes. J.C. Penney's and Macys. You can't fuck with them when it comes with your business attire. Now, when it comes to casual wear, that's probably the one time J.C. Penney's is like, this is if you're in college, or this is when you first take a woman out to lunch and dinner. They start you off pretty good. Now, when you try to get into the fashion style, I think that's where J.C. Penney starts to experiment a bit. And you see, I had to do a lot of research on this one. J.C. Penney's, from what I understand, the founder's name is James Cash Penney, and his partner is William Henry McCaffin. So these were two business associates who probably worked at a regular retail store somewhere, and both of them came up with the idea. One probably had all the money, and the other one probably had the charisma to sell you merchandise. So one had money, one had charisma, and they both hooked up together like tag team in wrestling. And once these guys came together, they took the last part of their names and put them together, and what do you get? You get J.C. Penney's. And as they say in history, the rest, as they say, is history. They were founded in April of 1902. And if you take out a calculator and you put 1902, that's like maybe probably 10 or 15 years before they had the 1929 stock market crash. So you're probably scratching your head like, man, both these stores got a head start, okay? These were like the superpowers of clothes. Like you look at Macy's as the McDonald's of clothes, and you probably look at JCPenney's as Burger King of clothes. They always are right behind Macy's where they come up on that ass, and it's like Macy's get up here, JCPenney comes right behind and be on the same level. It's like it's impossible to tell between the two clothing stores who really is the best of the best at what they do. And basically, this was, and the place that they were founded was Kenny, Wyoming, and their revenue total was 11,167 billion, or that could be 1,167 billion. I probably got that whole number 99.99% wrong. And if my dad was right here right now, he'd probably take out a calculator and show me the correct total and go, do you want me to take some money out and make you count it 25 times in a row? And I'd be like, no. Well, then you better get the number correct then. So these guys are billionaires. These guys are rich and famous. And these guys came, like before there was a Gap, before there was an Old Navy, before there was a Target, before any of the clothing stores came in the 21st century, these two were the originals. These are the legends. These are the icons. These are the stores that you had to go to if you wanted to get your business clothes up. And I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. If you really think about going to job interviews, 90% of the time, either you went to Macy's or you went to J.C. Penney's. These are the two stores that when you want to look right for your business attire, them stores will have you looking right. Now, somebody might ask me who you think is better and why. I'm probably willing to go as far as to say, I'm going to say right off the back, I'm probably going to go ahead and give Macy's the slight edge over JCPenney's. Because to me, it seems like Macy's have everything. I mean, they now sell furniture. Like, do you know how rare it is to have a store that sells furniture? They sell furniture. They sell ovens, stoves. I mean, they sell dishware. You be like what? Like the way that they're going, pretty soon they're gonna start selling TVs. I mean, the way that Macy's is going, it's like, man, like y'all sell furniture, y'all sell kitchens, stoves, dishware. Like, man. I telling you, because I actually worked at Macy's one time. A lot of people don't understand. I worked at two clothing stores, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Whereas with JCPenney's is more like, if you really, really, really are so into getting the job, this is the clothes you would wear. And same thing with JCPenney's. They started doing it. All of a sudden, they start selling furniture. Like, what's going on here? Is this a clothing store or a furniture store? They selling furniture. All of a sudden, they got stoves. All of a sudden, they selling kitchens. All of a sudden, they selling dishwares. Like, so I told you the real answer. It's Macy's. But you already know what I'm about to say. I'm about to say it's a close, even tie. Because every time Macy's do something, JCPenney's responds to it. Every time JCPenney's do something, Macy's respond to it. So I'm going to say it's a close, dead, even tie. Some of y'all might say, nah, bruh, it's Macy's. Some of y'all going to say it's JCPenney's. Because when I was a kid, I would always shop at JCPenney's. And guess what? I shop at both. I shop at Macy's and at JCPenney's. And the leather jackets, I go get from Macy's. When it comes to the belts, the shoes, it's JCPenney's. I bought some basketball shoes from JCPenney's. So, yeah. The very next episode that I'm going to give you, men and women, and this is going to be a video that I know men are going to really like and appreciate. It's going to be Foot Locker versus Nike. Oh, yeah. We can't finish the series without actually giving you the one that you've been waiting for. Nike is going to be Nike and going to be Foot Locker. Now give me some time to do some research on both these shoe companies, cause I know a lot of y'all like, man, when you gonna talk about Nike? When you gonna talk about Foot Locker? That video's coming. That's the one that's gonna really make you break your neck and come to this channel and really watch the video. So until then, peace.